Hello, this is Naomi Smalls, and welcome to From Head to Toe. Today we're going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 9, Episode 2. Today's theme is the paintball, and the girls have to come up with a look that they made themselves and not only make it, but paint it. And I feel like this is the time in the competition where you really get to see people's like true taste levels. And this is when you can't just like hire a designer, pay him a cute coin, and be cunt on the runway. You really are seeing people's like true vision, which can be disturbing sometimes. And a lot of the times you really get to see like some amazing work because drag queens are very crafty. They have to be crafty, in my opinion, in order to like really succeed in this competition. You have to be able to make a vision come to life. We've got 8 girls doing 3 different looks. We've got Stephanie, we've got Ru. This is going to be a heavy runway. Let's get to it. RuPaul enters the runway in I feel like this is like almost like that liquid look. Is it silk organza moment? That looks like water. I've never seen it like in this like rainbow technique. Love that. I feel like this is one of those rare moments where Ru adapted to the theme almost. Like it's kind of giving like a watercolor portrait moment. And she's back with the blue contacts and this like bubble, the swans. Naomi Watts, is she the main character? It's very Naomi Watts. I always confuse Naomi Watts and January Jones because she will steal your man, that January Jones. She's wearing gold platform open toe shoes, and I think that makes sense for this. But hello, that's what Ru's wearing. And here we have Stephanie Shu. I feel like this is a fashion version of like kind of like a Star Trek look to me. And I really dig it. I love the shoulder. I love the zipper. I love the combination of pink and black. And I also love when I can tell a guest judge is doing their own version of drag on RuPaul's Drag Race. And I feel like this graphic liner and this hairstyle, it definitely looks like there was effort put into it. And if there's effort put into it, it's drag. Honestly, that's kind of like, she didn't roll out of bed. She didn't put on a fucking unicorn onesie. She really got ready for RuPaul's Drag Race. And Stephanie. Category is Monochromatica. Up first, we have ANGERIA. And she is in lime green. I love the cutouts. I think this is definitely a very current look. I do like that the AB stones in the hair reflect the AB stones in the white mesh, but I don't necessarily love that it is. I dropped the phone. Oh! I will say there are some things I do love about this look. I feel like this is very current for drag, very current for fashion, very current for like club attire is the Cadwallader Mugler moment. This look is literally already manufactured to hide a breastplate. This is covered. The sides are covered. The chest is out. And I just don't really think of ANGERIA. I think of her more of like a classic queen. So the fact that she has hip pads on and no tits, I hate that. Up next, SHANNEL. SHANNEL is really giving the monochromatic. I do love that this wig is not all fuchsia. I love that there is a root in it. I think that was so smart to make it not so stark. I feel like it brings a little reality. It brings a little life to the look when there's like a little bit of a root. I have never seen ostrich live on a cage. I do actually like this look for SHANNEL. It's not my style of drag, but I get very Vegas. I do get very SHANNEL. I don't know if it's rhinestones or sequin, but it looks good on the stage. I think she has a horsehair moment at the bottom of her skirt, but it actually looks really good here. I keep really enjoying SHANNEL's length. I feel like she's very in control of her length or whatever shoes she's wearing to get that good length when she's in drag. Roxxxy Andrews chose red. Okay. There's things, of course, I love about this look. I do feel like this look was a little unfinished. I don't know what the exposed wire is happening. I do love the red rhinestone eyebrows for this runway. I like that she matched her sandal, her open toe sandal, to the wire, but I do think the wire should have just been all covered in red. Easy fix, either spray paint or just take that strip and run it all around with the wire. I think it also probably could have just been a red shoe. But this bitch is giving illusion, nude illusion, but I don't love the silver in this look. I'm sorry, girl. I feel like it just looks a little unfinished.
You can't read the top!
GOTTMIK is in a head-to-toe Versace moment. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when I say like the All-Stars packages are just completely different caliber now. Queens have access to places that queens didn't necessarily have access to All-Stars 1 through now. This Versace moment, I do love. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the metallic leather. We've done pieces inspired by this, and I mean, this metallic leather is so like delicious up close. It's just, you know, it's leather, but you're like, oh my god, what kind of treatment was on that? I love that she took the purple to her makeup with the lip and the eye and the wig. I feel like I've never seen GOTTMIK in a hair color like this. I love this head to toe. How could I not? It's designer, it's well made. I totally understand a political nipple. I don't want to see an accidental nipple. Up next, Nina West. Hands down, this is my favorite Nina West has ever looked. Head to toe, hot pink, the huge pink triangle ostrich hat with the face reveal, and the tiered skirt. Like, I'm not really a Tulle fan these days, but this just makes so much sense. I know Nina West from the pageant world. She is the creator and the OG of the skirt reveal that we have seen so many times repeated over through drag and pageants and all these bitches on the VMAs with like this like huge skirt reveal. Like, I feel like, of course there's a vintage references, but I feel like she really brought it back into the sphere and dragified it and brought it into a pageant. So this is kind of reminiscent of like Nina's OG trick. And I just love seeing Nina in a look that is cute. There, I said it. Up next, Vanessa Vanjie doing a look that she looks amazing in, okay? She looks fucking incredible. I don't know how she snuck in an extra hour on her glam or how she sped it up, but like the face is sitting. This hair looks so good on her. I like never see Vanjie in a synthetic big wig, but I actually really love it. And I think it's the key of having, I'm always game for height and width and everything, but I need like my, like this to stay tight. And I feel like Vanjie's hairline is staying tight, and I think that's why this looks so good on her. She's doing a look inspired by a Michelle Visage red carpet. I think that Vanjie, whoever created this dress, did a really good recreation. I love that the moment I saw the side-by-side of Michelle's, I was like, okay, does she have like a little garter around her leg? And Vanjie had a little garter around her leg. I feel like this is just a really good look for Vanjie, and props to you. You needed this after last week's green runway. So I'm glad it had a trajectory. Up next, Plastique Tiara in Ravishing Red. I love seeing Plastique do things that I know this bitch would literally never do when we were on tour together, which I feel like when she was getting ready for All Stars and she was telling me that she was gonna do all these like dramatic wigs and dramatic looks and play up her makeup, I was like, girl, are you sure? Like, I know her as like the girl next door that is unattainable, and you sit in your bedroom looking at her from across the way and you're like, bitch, this girl is just out of my league. Like, that is Plastique to me, you know? So when I see her on television and she's in these like sculpted wigs and full body gowns, I'm like, who is this bitch? But at the same time, she's so, like, I can see her in it. So I'm really excited to see these new looks on Plastique. This gown is gorgeous. It fits her like a glove. I don't know if she's padded because we're not padded girls, but her body looks so insanely right in this. I love all the cutouts. I love the length. I feel like whoever did this mastered whatever shoe she was going to be in under that. And that's something that drag queens, you need to show up to your fittings in heels. Like you have to have your body. It's not all about the length of the dress or the length of the pants. It's about how your arch, how the back is supported when you are in a heel and the way that you carry your body. That's how your fittings need to happen. I love the combination of platinum with red. Definitely not where I would have taken it. And I think like probably I would have taken it the more expected route, which probably would have just been black hair. But I feel like everything just like pops so well with this like blank palette of hair and then her like it's all about the details. And I feel like this is even a lip shape I've never seen Plastique do, but it makes so much sense with this look. And I love that about Plastique. Up next, I almost called her gorgeous. She is gorgeous in this look, but up next, Georges. I love this hair. I love that it is a monochromatic moment. I feel like this is kind of Georges's go-to look. She loves a sleeve. She loves a cinch. She loves a little tit. I'm sure she does get creative when she's smoking, and she must have been really creative to come up with this look. Kush green. I'm not surprised. Makes sense for Georges. My favorite Chromatica runway for these girls is definitely Nina West. I feel like Nina West came with the drama. I love this look for her. I think head to toe. You know what? The drama of the face reveal and the drama of the hat and the unexpectedness of the whole look can actually make me ignore those ugly fucking shoes. But she's still my favorite of this category. The next category is drag imitates art. Up first, we have Angeria, and she is doing a Mondrian moment. Every drag queen loves this stole, but I hate this stole with this look because it just doesn't make any sense. It has nothing to do with the artist. It has nothing to do with what she's wearing. It's a cocktail dress. I feel like I could have got this on Amazon. One of my biggest pet peeves about drag queens is unnecessary stoning. And that is coming from someone who's also made the same mistake. I have had things stoned that really did not need it. It really only translates rhinestones when it is like heavily rhinestone or just straight up encrusted. These like sparse sporadic stones throughout this, I get it for stage, but RuPaul's Drag Race you shouldn't just treat as like a club gig, you know? I feel like this hair didn't really go with it. If I were to do this look and like edit it, I would lose the stole for sure. I would do like a go-go boot type of thing on her, and I would do like some sort of like really sharp, short wig that's kind of mod-ish. And I feel like this would have just amplified it even more. Maybe like a little white sunglass, but this styling just really shows that there is no sense of style. Up next, Chanel. Chanel is doing the waves. It's crazy how I think a wig can really do so much of the work. And I think that this wig shape and how it's defying gravity is really helping her in this case. And I feel like even Rue pointed out that he like enjoyed this wig, and I was like, that makes sense. It looks really well done. I like that there's like black variation in the gown going vertical. That is, I think that's very flattering. I do hate the earring. I hate a drag earring when it doesn't need to be a drag earring, but I guess she is a drag queen. This just looks like an earring that she could have matched with like any pageant gown. And I love when the jewelry, especially for All Stars, I love when the jewelry, the nails just makes sense. It's all about the styling, and I feel like this earring I could have put on like pageant queen number 5 in any lineup of any stage across the nation. Up next, Roxy Andrews doing Salvador Dali. Listen, I love the fact that she took it there with the mustache. That's something I would never think of like Roxy Andrews season 5 to even think of. I feel like you can definitely see her concepts evolving. I love this piece, this like melted clock moment that she did. I do love the printed moment of the sleeves, the drama of the sleeves, the 360 lace low bun moment where you cannot clock the updo lifting on itself. Roxxxy Andrews is definitely ambidextrous and like she can do things. She's just so independent. You've heard me talk about my nape lace fuck ups and like she is going to go above and beyond to make sure that never happens. So I don't know how she's doing this by herself, which because I know she's doing it by herself because she's not a needy bitch that's gonna ask somebody else like me. I do love that she has the melted clock fascinator, and I think the veil was a really nice touch. I probably would have ditched the red rhinestone eyebrows because they just don't really make sense for this. I know that's like a huge change, and Roxy's like, you ain't gonna stress me out. Love, love, love. Front on, love. Back, don't love that zipper. Unless she was gonna do like a ponytail, like a low pony moment to cover that zipper, the construction just needed to be a little bit different to hide that. I feel like I have to cut myself off because I can't say too much about Roxxxy Andrews. That's just God, you know? But if I'm gonna clock your zipper and your rhinestone red eyebrows, please don't disown me as your pseudo daughter. Up next, GOTTMIK doing the scream. We love this look. We have to love this look. Like it's so, I don't think, have we seen another person on RuPaul's Drag Race covered in this many rhinestones? Disco Daddy did this look and I actually have grabbed this look and I don't know how this tiny little bitch is wearing this look because it's like 175 pounds. The same as Plastique's wings. This look is so heavy. It's probably like, what, 180 pounds? And this bitch is definitely less than that. She looks like she is struggling down that runway, and you can struggle when you are sparkling this much. This look is fierce from head to toe. I love, 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 love. It makes everyone else look dull. And when you are wearing rhinestones, that is the goal in life, isn't it? Up next, Nina West doing Tom of Finland. I don't know a gay out there that is not familiar with Tom of Finland's work. If you are not, maybe you're not gay. This is just such a classic reference, and Nina West's interpretation of it. Yes, there are things I don't necessarily love about it. I feel like she should have done just like leather chaps or leather pants or like something so unexpected for Nina West, because this look is already so unexpected for Nina West, but like a pencil skirt knee length for some reason just makes it not unexpected for Nina West. I will say I was kind of turned on when she walked out the runway, and I liked this different, she really embraced the character. She was cruising the camera. She was cruising the entire judging panel. And I liked that she stayed in character the entire time and did something back to back from her pink look. So unexpected for Nina. Up next, Vanessa VANJIE Mateo doing Starry Night by Van Gogh. I love the details for Miss Vanjie. Also, there's something about Vanjie's face this runway. I will say, as someone who started less draggy, got into draggy, and just enjoys switching up their makeup, let this bitch live, okay? She takes longer than these girls who are drawing just circles and triangles all over their face, and the fact that everything is blended. I know how much work she puts into her face, so Vanjie, I see you. Let's get into the Starry Night look. The Lady Bunny dress, I don't know about that. I think that there probably could have been some more oranges and like light blues and some swirls. I feel like we only got like that yellow swirl at the train of this. I do love the detail of a bloody ear. I thought that was so smart. I feel like we could have gotten like some sort of either prosthetic or like some sort of like stage zombie kind of like blood drip type of moment. I think would have remained gorgeous, but just taking it there. I love this hair. This hair is so good. And I love the like Starry Night blue hair tassel with the moon, but everything's made out of hair. Love that. But you're also talking to a bitch who Lady Bunny, everything else fierce. So up next we have Plastique Tiara doing Yayoi Kusama. I love this look on Plastique. It's something that I think is giving the trajectory of what she is on All Stars. High concept, high dedication to a wig that she's not known for wearing. I love seeing Plastique's evolution on All Stars 9. It is. I feel like I'm kind of almost like watching my baby sister grow up in a way, like a little bit. Like, we weren't raised in the same scene, but we have spent so much time and we just like immediately clicked that I feel a family connection when it comes to Plastique. And the fact that she's younger than me, I just have to, admire the growth. And she's come so far from the days of Work the World. So seeing her in this like stacked synthetic sculpted wig that I know is just going to be thrown in a corner and collecting dust after All Stars 9 is just shows the dedication that this bitch put into preparing her package. This is a look that takes up so much space on the runway. I love the detail of the glasses with the lashes. I'm sure that's a trope that the artist does. I feel like she knocked it out of the park with this one. And the fact that this is not a finale gown and it is this size and it has this like cool like wired detail. She thought of every detail, and all top marks for Plastique Tiara. Up next, Gorgeous. Gorgeous is doing Picasso. I don't know if it was like a storyline from her monochromatic moment, because I do want to see a bitch do the ball and just wear the same hair color for each 3 categories but different styles. Still waiting for that to happen, but I digress. This is not the wig I would have chose for this, but I do get very Picasso from the outfit. I do love the color blocking that is happening with the gloves. I love the detail of the seam going down the tights. But something I can never forgive, ever, is when I can tell that the wig got no love. The dents that are happening in this wig, I'm guessing it's supposed to be, if you were to ask me, this wig is supposed to be slick back and straight. But I feel like because when we get ready for Drag Race, we put things in hairnets, we put things in bags, boxes, da 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 da. I know not everyone is coming with their wigs on heads like Miss Plastique.
Why is it in there like that?
This is how you do drag.
Whatever the way she was storing this, there's just dents that are reflecting on the runway lights, which means she didn't pass a flat iron through this wig or steam this wig if it's synthetic, and for that, I cannot forgive. The best, in my opinion, of drag imitates art for this category is definitely GOTTMIK. Ru was gagged on this look, and this is RuPaul's Drag Race, and I do agree, this is the fiercest look of the category. Up next, the category is Paintball Eleganza. This is the look that we are really seeing what a bitch is capable of, okay? Yes, it has to do with taste level. Yes, it has to do with time limits, but this is when you are going to see the imagination a queen has in their mind come to life. And Angeria, let's start with you. It's giving unfinished, like, peplum waist belt. I don't know what this like white stripe is that's happening underneath the pit, if that's like the end of the bolt of fabric, which is just something you should definitely remove, or bitch, get a highlighter and cover that in. It's RuPaul's Drag Race. We are going to see it. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I do see the ombre, I do see the paint, but it's just so subtle. And when the category is Paintball Eleganza, the showmanship, the craftsmanship, I should say, the artistry should really be obvious for the paintball. I don't like this look, Angeria, but what does that mean to you? Chanel. Okay, I love the tie-dye element. I will say Chanel's tie-dye element, tying it in with the blue of the wig. I feel like she even like spruced up and blushed up her makeup a bit to tie into this color story. I think that this look makes so much sense for Chanel. It's giving very, when you are landing in Nevada and you are at, what is it called now? the Harry Reid Airport in Las Vegas. And you're going down the escalator and you look up and you see a Cirque du Soleil Ka or O or insert acrobat. They're probably going to be wearing something like this. She looks like she could be going from trapeze to trapeze wearing this look. Is it fashion? I would not say it's fashion. It's giving costume, and that makes sense because she's Chanel and she wears costumes. Roxy Andrews from White to Black Ombre. Michelle Visage reading that this should have had lining, I think would have just taken it there. Like a white satin lining or like a gray satin lining would have just like, not even in the sleeves, obviously, because it's RuPaul's Drag Race and you can cut corners, but just the like torso to the length of the coat, I think would have just taken this so much to where it needed to be. You know, I mean, this is a lot. This is hard for me to say, but I do not like this look of Roxy Andrews. What I do like about Roxy Andrews' look is the peekaboo in the glove. Instead of her shoes having a red bottom, her gloves have a red inseam. Is that what you would call in between your fingers? I don't know. But I do like that detail. This is what I'm talking about. Floor length pants and an open toe shoe is just not necessarily the vibe, okay? This is when you bust out those knife, Balenciaga, pointed toe moments for that toe. A toe coming, like a fierce ass sharp toe coming out of a floor length pant. That's the occasion. Up next is GOTTMIK. GOTTMIK is also black and white and red all over. I am obsessed with this hair. It's giving me All Real Monsters from Nickelodeon. The umbrella bitch. It's all umbrella bitch. I think that this all just makes sense with GOTTMIK's brand. I love this look. It's definitely very reminiscent of like Alexander McQueen, and I feel like that is one of GOTTMIK's staples of references that she constantly pulls from. And I think that this umbrella bitch McQueen GOTTMIK fantasy just makes so much sense for them. Miss Nina West, she looks like what I was having nightmares about in elementary school. I just get teleported to, there's like a meme that goes around of Nina in like a Viking hat and they're like, you're a big man. Yeah. And you have big shoulders. Yeah. And you're big. Yeah. The proportions on this are so not it. I feel like even Nina maybe knows, at least I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that she knows this isn't it. I do love that she just kind of said to Rue, I just want to walk down the runway. And I am happy there's no eliminations because she knew this was just not her challenge. I appreciate that she tried, but this is hard to look at. This length is hard to look at. She's doing 2 styrofoam type of wigs in one episode. Not about that bitch didn't glue down a lace front this entire episode. Now that I think about it, she did the body stocking for the first one, the Tom of Finland moment for the next one, and this one that is not even a fucking drop of mastics on your forehead. A whole episode. How the hell did you plan that out? But yeah, I hate this look. Up next, Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. And I'm biased. You know this about me. Bitch, the moment this hair started hitting the runway, it looked so good! I love a good wig. Hello. Thank God. Finally. Not for her, but just like, I love seeing a season of Drag Race where the girls really care about the hair. This blowout is just bouncing down the runway. I've done Vegas with Vanjie, and she used to have such a system of having all her wigs prepped and pin curled and ready, and then she would just sit there and do like 99, 100, 102 through the whole set to get this perfect blowout look. And I love this color on her. Whoever did this wig, shout out to you. I'm hoping it's James because it just looks so goddamn good. She looks like the Statue of Liberty, but like Vanjified. A low hip skirt just reads woman, and the fact that Vanjie is from Florida means she is a beachy girl. So it just makes so much sense. Vanjie, this is passable. That hair, everything. Up next, the one, the only, the unattainable doll. Plastique Tiara. I mean, this is the girl who's standing in line for the runway and you're like standing behind her and you're just like, fuck, fuck, fuck. Like, what else can I throw on to like make up and like try and get at her level? Plastique, you did that. It's a design challenge. I would not think anything less than Plastique. She really brought it for the ball. I love what she did with this cherry blossom long ass train coat moment and the accentuating her body through paint and like just using something so simple, so classic, like black and white, and having the pink of the cherry blossom just as like an accent. She looks hot, she looks regal, she looks unattainable, and that is always our goal when we are in drag. And if you are Plastique, it's polished, pussy, pretty, and something else. She loves the peas. And Plastique, you just look phenomenal. And if you can spell, that starts with a P. Up next, we have Gorgeous. You know what? I actually do like this look. I actually like what she did with like the puff sleeve, and I like what she did with the high skirt. This should have been snipped. These should have been cut, and I hate that because I love seeing Gorgeous in something that is unexpected. My favorite look from the Paintball Eleganza is, for sure, without a doubt, don't even have to think about it, Plastique Tiara. She got her credit that she deserves this episode. That's my bitch. And Plastique, you ate this hands down. I'm so proud of you. You have to give her props because she made it. You have to give her props because she's stunning. And no one's doing it like Plastique. And that is all the looks from the ball, the paint ball. And you know what? I've gotten ready for a ball on RuPaul's Drag Race before. I know how stressful every single runway is because you're trying to think of the details from wig to petty, and having to do that 3 times over with very little time to switch up your makeup and hair in between, and you have to just rush backstage. So I understand how annoying it is to do a ball, and these bitches, they turned it. They really had to do that. Well, not everyone turned it, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that was the ball episode of All Stars 9, episode 2. And tune in next week from head to toe to break down these bitches for episode 3. Another format I've never really dipped my toe into that you definitely have to check out is patreon.com/Naomi Smalls. Early releases, exclusive content, longer videos, and who doesn't want that? From me? You're welcome.